So, can you hear me? This is weird because the camera's in a really funny place. I've got it sideways. I thought, well, actually, I didn't think. This is normally the way it happens. I was listening to messages from the Ravens and I thought, do you know what? All of a sudden, I was like, let's do a fucking 11:11 messages from the Ravens a bit differently this time. So what I might do is if you want to participate, because I can see you, I can read your comments. We're going to be using this deck. I'll explain what it means. We're going to be using my deck that I made, and we're going to be using the Angel Romance deck. They're not romantic, they just give an insight to and the Romance Angels by Doreen Virtue, and possibly the Psychic Tarot. So I thought, yeah, I'll do it differently. Rather than sideways, we're going to do it face on. We can get a collective feeling, and then you can hit me with some questions and answers if you want on this, the 11:11, which is meant to be the wake up call, but it's also the card of the twin flame. I'll give him a shuffle, see what we get out, and then I will go through it with you from the highest level for the collective. A lot of us, we seem to think that we're on separate journeys, and we are, but we're also evolving spiritually, waking up, coming into union with ourselves, which then we come into union with others that are on the same path. I wasn't 100% convinced about the collective energy readings until I'd done one, and then I watched another reader and our cards were exactly the same. So there is a collective. I need my glasses. I always need my glasses. Where the fuck are my glasses? They should be here. They're here. So, just to make sure they're clean, because I don't. So, the energy at the moment is the King of Wands. The King of Wands. The King of Wands doesn't fuck around. The King of Wands is a magnificent manifester. He also is very grounded. He's businesslike. He's very sexually powered. He's mastered all of his wands, but this is a doing. This is a doing, divine masculine. It could be asking us to embody the divine masculine in the King of Wands, as in the Queen of Wands goes in. He's done his shadow work, but he's more of a, right, I'm going to go and do what I said I'm going to do, rather than the Queen of Wands just manifests it to her. She's very businesslike, but this is the masculine energy of the King of Wands. He's the one that fell out. So, let's see what else we get with him. We've got the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands is like moving forward. There's opportunities for expansion here as well. So the Eight of Wands, you might be getting messages coming in, lots of messages, lots of fast movement. Both me and my friend had snails in the house the other day. The snails represent a slow, steady pace with protection. On the same day, we both got that message. The Eight of Wands is this expansion. It could be expansion in the mind, expansion. When we expand in the mind, we then expand, everything else expands, but it's news coming in. Lots of news coming in fast. That's the bottom of the deck. I'm also going to use mine to see where this connection is with this King of Wands. But he's a doer. He is he's probably a businessman, owns his own company. But it's the masculine energy. Let's see whereabouts this connection is. And collectively, I mean, these are opportunities. This is what's available for us at the moment. Let's see where this connection is with this King of Wands, whether it's, like I say, when we do energy readings, it can be an actual person, but it is also a part of ourselves. It's an energy that we might be being asked to move into. For this 1111 portal. Get going, do the groundwork, get yourself out there, be seen. Or call him in. I need a King of Wands, you know, call him in. Manifest it in. Somebody who does what they say. These are steps. Now this is going into, this is a journey. But this is a journey of emotion. It looks like the moon. So it's leading up to this full moon, which I think is next week. But this is a journey going into the water, into the emotions. But it's blooming, there's things growing, it's blooming. There's something about the reflection also in the water. So something is going to be, through this moon, reflected back to you, but it's going to take going through, it's almost like a little bit of darkness. I'm not getting the actual connection at the minute, but it's almost like we've got to step into this water. Hi there, we've got to step into this water. This water is our emotions. We've got to step into it to be able to see what it is that is being reflected back to us. So what we see on the outside, what we see by the people around us, that whatever it is, they are mirroring back to us what it is that we need to learn. But this is definitely moving into the emotions, leading up to this full moon. But there's a lot of stuff blooming. It's not like, it does feel like autumn, but it's because it's almost like it's on fire. They feel, they don't feel like leaves. They feel like roses. They feel like flowers. But it's going through the emotions and being 100% aware of the reflection that is being shown back to you to do the work. Now this, again, we've got two shoes. So this is stepping into a new role, doing the dance, putting on your new shoes. Now see all the stars? This is like time to shine. I've got these, I got my new shoes on and suddenly everything's all right. That kind of, this is a brand new path, a brand new dance that is coming in around this full moon. And this King of Wands, which is either a man, a businessman, or it's asking us, love is full of colour, yeah, it's asking us to embody this King of Wands energy that we need to, because we have the divine masculine and the feminine within us. So the Queen of Wands is the queen, the shadow queen. So she goes in, she does the shadow work, she comes back, she manifests. You know, she's got healing powers, she's got creative ideas, but the King of Wands actually really does do the groundwork, the masculine side of it, in physically getting out there and getting the job done. So this is a brand new journey that we're moving into. What other cards was I going to use? I was going to have a look at the romance angels and see if we can get something. And again, Eight of Wands is expansion. So things, even though you know, the snail that I got yesterday, my friend got, is a message to kind of slow down a little bit, and it's really good luck, but things are moving quite fast at the minute. So we're gonna get a little bit more. I like the fact that landed on the moon. Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So it's about getting back into that. It's, you know, there's a lot of serious shit going on in the world at the moment, but we've got to find that inner, you know, child, if you like, to go out and have some fun, play with it. Just get excited again about stuff. I had a lot of kittens in my dream last night. So the embodiment of kittens, like running up the curtains, you know, doing crazy shit, is the youthful energy that is going to, as we're moving into this full moon, bring out the playfulness to recaptivate the romance, because it feels like possibly things have got a bit too serious. I mean, he's very stout there. He's probably very businesslike. He probably doesn't think much about playing. He's more in his head. I've got my wand. It's money, money, money. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. Get back into this playfulness. Maybe go out. I'm going to still stick him in the middle. Go out under this full moon in the light. Go and play. Go and just go on an adventure. Do you know what I mean? Like scare the shit out of each other, which is funny. We've got religious factors at the bottom. I'm going to go back to the Raven cards and see if I can get a bit more on this King of Wands. But we've got the full moon going into the water, and very much so opening this eye, you know, maybe in a playful way. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're seeing something in front of you that you don't like, then it's a reflection of something that is within you, and turn it into a joke. You know what I mean? Oh my God, you know, that kind of mentality. Let's see what else we can get on the King of Wands. But the King of Wands, again, like the Queen of Wands, he's gone and done his shadow work. He's not afraid of being in the dark. This fell out on the moon as well. So we've got the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands represents ego. It represents competition. So there could be, or could have been, a lot of competition around this connection. or it's kind of battle mode. But again, you see with the way that the birds are kind of like they're having a little scrap in the air. So that a lot of the time when the Five of Wands comes up, it's because then everyone wants to be right. I'm right, you're right. Slow connection, I don't know. Can you still hear me? Yeah, so Five of Wands. Okay, right, it hasn't cut out. So yeah, Five of Wands is competition. So there could have been a lot of competition around, or there's going to be this competitive energy around the full moon. And we've got the Queen of Swords. This Queen of Swords doesn't take any shit. I'm sure she's the queen. She's got her sword out and it's right across her heart. She's like, fuck with me once and that's it. Thanks, bye, you're out. Her boundaries are really strong. She does what she says on the tin. So she's not going to put up with any of this. She doesn't tolerate this kind of energy. She says, no, I've got very strong boundaries. I know what I want. I know where I'm going. I know my worth. When I say no, I mean no, and I don't have to explain myself. So in a relationship, the King of Wands and the Queen of Swords would be a very good coupling, especially in business. Especially in business, but a very good coupling. But it seems to me to feel like we have a lot of competition, a lot of bickering, arguing, ego going on, wanting to be right. This may be coming up underneath this new moon for us to look at. It doesn't look, it looks quite, I'm just sort of recapping for everyone that's joined. It looks like it's quite rosy. It doesn't look like it's going to happen in the dark. Do you know what I mean? It's something that's coming to light through the emotions because it's in the water, but actually it's growth. What I'm seeing there is lots of growth, lots of flowers. They're not leaves, they're flowers, all growing around this thing that's coming to light. And again, when I say the reflection of, there is going to be a reflection of emotions out in the 3D that is going to be shown back to you so that you can clear it out. Now we can cling on and we can, you know, sort of keep battling the same old I'm right, you're wrong, ego. Or we can move into our Queen of Swords, and like I said, that sword is it's just below our heart chakra, so it's from here upwards. She's like, these are my boundaries. And when I say like these are my boundaries, you don't argue with that. But it is asking us to get into a state of playfulness about it. So not to take it too seriously. These are new steps forward, new shoes. We're putting on new shoes, which is almost like taking on a new role. We've got the King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So the King of Cups, he does everything. Again, it could be asking us to get into our King of Cups rather than, so the divine masculine energy rather than the divine feminine. But the King of Cups does everything from his heart space. He moves from his heart space, but he doesn't necessarily share. Whereas the Queen of Cups is open, vulnerable. You know, she's authentic in he watches and learns. He's still in his heart space and he moves from his heart space because he's mastered all the other cups. He's not in his headspace, but he doesn't necessarily communicate it very well. He just sits on his crown with his cup watching. see. Oh, blimey, that fell out. And we've got the King of Swords. So we've got quite a lot of, now the King of Swords, again, it's the masculine energy of what I say is what I do. He can be quite, he's not very tactile. He's not very empathic. He's mastered his mind space. So he's very much mind over matter. Whereas the King of Cups is very, I'm in my heart space, but I don't say much. This King of Swords, again, if you're looking at a masculine, we've got 3 masculines on the table. We've got 3 kings on the table, which could represent a divine masculine that has actually mastered all the wands, mastered his boundaries and his mental thought processes, and mastered his heart space with the Queen of Swords. So 3 kings on this 11-11, but again, asking us to get into a playfulness of, you know, rather than this competition, arguing, I'm right, I'm wrong, ego. I would say most of these kings have outgrown their ego, but the Queen of Swords is, these are my boundaries. I won't accept anything lower than that. Now we've got religious factors at the bottom. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path, and she's crowned as well. So there's something that's coming to light around, you know, this connection that is on a spiritual level. It could be with the 8 of Wands that there needs to be more expansion in religious factors, because we know that a lot of religious factors are quite guilt-based is the word I'm looking for. They come with a lot of judgment. It comes with a lot of, this is the way it should be. And that might be something that needs expanding or removing. And underneath that, we've got healing family issues. So it could be that the ego, the competitiveness, the fighting, the I'm right, is based on spiritual or religious factors that people think, right, that I go to church every Sunday, therefore, you know, there's something around that one was on my arm. What was that? So that was the King of Cups. But this is definitely a divine masculine who has actually worked very, very hard on mastering his wands, his swords, his cups. But a definite need for some playfulness. I want to know, I'm going to get some more cards out in a minute. If this is resonating, let me know. If it's making no sense at all, let me know. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune. We've got the 7 of Pentacles. The 7 of Pentacles represents keep going, keep doing what you're doing, mastering your arts, but don't give up. He's got 1 in his hand, 3 in the air, but that's not what fell. We got the Wheel of Fortune, so something is turning. Now, when we've often closed out a cycle, or we have Queen of Swords and said, no, these are my boundaries, cut that off, it then turns the Wheel of Fortune. Because when we make when we have discipline, discipline is the Queen of Swords. She's disciplined in what she will accept, what she won't accept, what she says, what she does. She is master in her head. She's not a fool. And when she decides that there's been a boundary that's been crossed, and she then says, no, that's it, that's my boundary crossed, it then turns the wheel. It just closes out, moves things forward. Now that fell out with the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords, I always call it fuckery. It's the card of deceit. It's the card of, now the raven there has actually got hold of a mouse in his claws. So it's almost like this Wheel of Fortune has turned because the Seven of Swords has been called out. Now the mice often represent something eating away at us, or energetically someone taking energetically and not giving back. But the Seven of Swords is normally I'll do anything. It's cunning, manipulative. I'm out for myself. Now with it coming with the Wheel of Fortune, I'm saying that I'm feeling, that the Queen of Swords has actually called this out and said, no, you're not getting past into my up this end. You're not coming any further. These are my boundaries, and called this out, which has then turned the Wheel of Fortune in her favour, which may actually have called in all these kings. This woman knows what she's worth. I'm calling out the Seven of Swords. This is fuckery. These are my boundaries. The answer is no. Come to me open-heartedly, or we're not doing this at all. Now I'm going to put those down for a minute and see what the angels have to say. So collectively, this is what we're being asked to do, and it could be collectively moving into a more masculine energy, or you have these masculines around you. But whatever it is, it's going to come to light around the full moon, and it's going to be reflected back to you in some way, shape or form is what the moon does. It brings things to light. It casts anything that's been lurking in the shadows is going to come to the surface. Open your heart. Now maybe the Queen of Swords is too much in her sword, so it says open your heart. Allow love to grow and bloom all around. You've waited for this emotionally fulfilling experience for such a long time, and now the time has come. Make your choices by listening to your heart and then following the steps you're guided to take. Joy will lead to a vibrant and healthy life. Again, this 6 is always, when I see 6, it's about balance. It's about equal give and take. It's the same as the 6 of Pentacles, that it's equal. I give, you know, there's no lack there, but it's open heart surgery that's going on. So this 5 of Wands, this battle energy, the Queen of Swords has obviously said, like, no, I'm not having that. I'm going to move into my heart space. But it's asking us to open our hearts, be a bit more vulnerable, possibly. 7 of Thought underneath, I think, is the same as the 7 of Swords. You've been confused about a situation in your life. Now, the 7 of Swords, again, is mental confusion. It's when there's a little bit of dishonesty going on. The Seven of Thought. You've been confused about a situation in your life, and now suddenly everything is completely clear. Now the sword that the Queen of Swords holds is truth, it's clarity. And also the King of Swords. So maybe the King of Swords has stepped up and said, right, I'm going to, you know, this is truth, this is clarity. It's coming to a head, it's coming to light. Whether the truth was revealed by the angels or disclosed by a friend or discovered on your own, it feels great to be awake and aware. Feel free to ask for time if that's what's needed. So with the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Thought, this is an end to any fuckery or manipulation or anything that was going on. It's the end of, because that's what turns the wheel. What else are we going to get with this? Open your heart. Lots of kings around. Now these kings have done the work. Whether it's within ourselves, it's our divine masculine that we've had to, you know, step into, or they are actual kings or the embodiment of a divine masculine. What else have we got from this? And like I say, this is just an it's an opportunity. It's for growth, inwardly or outwardly. We can't expect to we have to do the inner work. Otherwise, we just end up in cycles of patterns that that don't serve us. And that could be mastering, especially if you've had childhood traumas. We tend to attract, they say we attract people like our mothers and people like our fathers, which is quite true. If you've had a really good upbringing, the chances are you're going to, you know, there's not any work to be done, but this is somebody who has gone through, is doing the work. But the Queen of Swords is still like, no. Out with the old, in with the new. That's nice. Heaven is showing you a sign that it's time to move in a new direction. Often this is because you're not happy and feel a lack of purpose in your life. This is the wake-up call to make changes that match your heart's desire and spiritual truths. So again, that's a bit like the Queen of Swords. She's like, nope, that's not in alignment with who I am. Is that another out with the old, in with the new? Are we slow connection? Are we still on? We're still on. So that's a new beginning, and I've been feeling this coming for a little while now. It's going, sorry, I keep losing connection. It's saying finishing. So out with the old, in with the new. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the 10 of action. You're working too hard. The angels are asking you to find a healthy balance between your career and your personal life. Be willing to ask for help from others in order to lighten your load so that you can take better care of yourself. Straining to make others happy can be harmful to your health. So again, it's that message of slowing down, being more in the moment. If we're too busy working, we miss what we're being shown. And especially leading up to this full moon, there's going to be things coming to light that we need to be present for. And if we're too busy with all this clutter as well, it's like clearing out. If we're too busy with all this clutter, it's out with the old, in with the new. We can't drag, this stuff around with us. Bottom of the deck, we have the 4 of emotion. There are wonderful people out there who wish to help you. Opportunities are being offered to you, but you aren't noticing or trusting the gifts heaven is bestowing upon you. Look around you. So again, it's that reflection. The moon is going to reflect back to you what it is that needs working on to call in your counterpart, your soulmate, your twin flame, whatever it is that, you know, if that's what you want. It's going to reflect back to you what it is that needs working on or clearing out with the old, in with the new. In a state of playfulness, we've got to get out of this ego, battle, argument. It's a standoff kind of energy. It's ego based. I'm right, you're wrong, and move more into an open heart space. Daydreaming or going within is a healthy way to get clarity as long as you can act upon your dreams. But again, there she looks really bored. She's like, oh my God, I'm so bored of this. But 4 again is foundational. So 4 is I'm creating new foundations. I need to use my Queen of Swords to cut out anything that isn't authentic, that isn't balanced, that isn't you know, seven of Swords is fuckery. It's not being authentic, it's manipulation, it's mind games. Seven of Thought as well is that something is going to come to light, and it's going to be in your face. You're going to feel it. It's going to take going into the emotion, but it is also going to bring about some kind of growth. And here we are on the 11:11. We've got 11, which is inner strength. You have great courage and kindness. You may not realise how strong and powerful you are, but there's no problem you can't solve. The compassion you so freely give to others must also be given to yourself. Stand strong in your convictions if the right answer to tell someone is no. Where is she? Here she is. Inner strength, saying no. There's my boundaries, don't cross them. I know what I want. The embodiment of, you know, the divine masculine, and also in a playfulness way. The 10 of Thought, a situation, and again, this feels it's close. Something is closing out around this full moon. Something is closing out, which actually turns the wheel. It gets, when we stay stuck or repeat situations, nothing moves, nothing, and then the minute we draw a line under it, we say no, then the wheel turns. It allows things to progress forward. A situation that's been troubling you has come to an end. You can breathe a sigh of relief. With the challenges times behind you, you can now move on. It's important to fully let go at this junction. Someone in your life may now fully be free of his or her addictions or codependency issues. That, again, that could be inwardly or it could be outwardly. And if it is inwardly, does take some inner strength to be able to actually look at it. The moon is going to bring it to light. It's going to bring it to light in the water, the reflection of it, so that it can be cleared out straight away, you know, like job done. Job done. Healer of abundance. Right, where am I going now? Let me know if this is making any sense. I'm going to go to the Psychic Tarot. If I can get them out of the box. I thought, yeah, we'll do this differently. But I mean, 1111 and the card number 11 being strength is what it's going to take. Is what it is. We've got 6 on the table. We've got 16, which is 7. 7 and 6. Yeah, just doing some numerology here. But the 10, definitely. We've got shadow. So this is what I'm saying. The moon is going to bring up some shadow work. That's what's going to move things forward. It's looking, I've got light. It's the reflection of, can you see the sun and the moon there? So the moon, I don't know where that light's coming from. But the moon, when we go into it, we're either going to feel it in our emotions, but it's going to reflect back to us where we need to do the shadow work, which is really good. Because without, I mean, it's embodying the two, but what happens is when we acknowledge the shadow work that we need to do, then we can, what's the word? We can use it. You know what I mean? We're not hiding from it anymore. It's not something that's in the shadow anymore. It's been brought to light. It's got heartache and loss at the bottom there, but I'm going to carry on with these and see what else we get. King of Wands. Well, King of Wands, King of Cups. This is all masculine energy, but it could also be asking us to step into it. Might take us, you know, to step into that. It's a doing. It's a doing energy rather than a nurturing. It might take physical action, is what I'm saying. Or it's the embodiment of mental confusion. So there has been this mental confusion around something. It's conflict. It's back and forth, back and forth. I'm not sure. I'm confused. It landed again on the 7 of Swords. And the 7 of, that's not the 7 of Swords, that's the King of Swords. But the 7 of Thought, something that was causing you mental confusion is now going to come to light. An emotional withdrawal, so that's an 8. So it is definitely going inward, working on this mind space. Now the King of Swords, he's mastered his mind space. You know, up here, he doesn't invite or entertain fuckery, and also, you know, he's very much in his head. He's very much. So this could be the work that's been done. Emotional withdrawal to clear out the 7 of Swords, and then memories of love at the bottom of the deck. Let's see what else we get. Lots of divine masculine energy here though as we're moving into this moon. Is the moon in Aries? Is my feeling. Fertility. Number 3. So this is like, again, it's this whole, she's in her heart space, but it's the birth of, it's out with the old, in with the new. She's gone full cycle, is what I'm seeing. She's illuminated around the head, so there's been some kind of awakening, but she's also in her heart space, and she's got her hands round her solar plexus. So fertility, the birth of, and again, there's those leaves. There's those, it's growth is what it is. So I would say in the divine feminine, there's some enlightenment that is coming, possibly under the light of the moon, being brought up to the surface. There's a heart activation here. There's an activation in the crown space, third eye, probably. Something is being brought to light, but it's it feels like a rebirth, fertility, or you're going to get pregnant. So, like, maybe watch that. But yeah, there's like a fertility of, you know, let's get back to being playful. This is all too goddamn bloody serious. Triumph at the bottom of the deck. So that's victory. That is whatever this is, whatever is coming up around this full moon. And you could have quite a lot of divine masculines coming in. And they're all going to be coming in with different elements. Swords. Says what he does on the tin. You know exactly where you stand, but he's not very empathic. So if it's no, it's no. It's like, you know, very in his headspace. King of Cups, very in his heart space. King of Wands, businessman. He's a magician, but there's triumph there. Whatever it is, whatever you're closing out, whatever the competition or the ego is battling with, is going to be, and it's definitely in the mind space. It's definitely through possibly moving into your Queen of Swords and setting your boundaries, is going to be triumphant. He is on a horse, coming in fast. Now he's got a red flag. So it could be a test, a little bit of a test. I do feel like we are being a little bit tested at the moment. Have you learnt your lessons? Do you know how to spot a red flag? We should by now be not in the like, right, that's it, walls up, no one's coming in, but we should be able to spot a red flag if we've done the work and called out the Seven of Swords, taking them up. Get rid of the mice. There's no room for mice eaten away, either energetically, financially, emotionally. Queen of Swords wouldn't have any of that. So, but go, you know, it doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. We're not responsible for other people's actions. What we're responsible for is to remain in our heart space through forgiveness and keep our heart open and authentic, because we're not responsible for other people's actions, which again might be something that's coming up in the shadow. So we've got the Knight of Cups. This is an offering. The Knight's coming in with an offering. He's coming in, so the news coming in. There's 3 ravens above his head. So I'd say that he's closed 3 things out and he's coming in with a cup. And it's like, it's something emotionally fulfilling. But it's up to us in our I wouldn't go into meet with this Prince of Cups, Knight of Cups, whatever the offer is, if you're still in your Queen of Swords energy, because you won't be able to see it clearly. We have to discern, we have to have discernment of when it's appropriate and when it's not. We can't, otherwise we also get stuck here. And it's a spiritual lesson that is going on, which is why we've got religious factors at the bottom, and we've got the Hierophant. I'm sure that's the Hierophant. He's definitely the Hierophant. It's a spiritual lesson that's coming up around this full moon regarding religious factors. Could be an expansion of, but there's definitely shadow work to be done, mental confusion, a lot of Seven of Swords, but once it's closed out. And what is this? The Three of Pentacles. So there's opportunities coming in, and I do feel like this Three of Pentacles is almost like three gifts or three offers. I mean, the Knight of Cups is obviously a heart space, and maybe we do need to be a bit more playful, because we could be getting an offer from a King of Swords, a King of Wands, and a King of Cups. Now, if we're in our Queen of Swords, we're just going to be like, nah. But it's using whatever it is that is coming to light under the full moon to see what work we need to do in the shadow, in the reflection that we get back from the full moon, to have the discernment to know whether it's something, whether to say yes, I'll have a look in your cup, or no thanks, I'm all right. But inner strength at the bottom of the deck, and this is definitely, and like I said, it's a new path. There's new shoes. These are new. This is something we've not walked before, and it could be a new, a new dance. But definitely a spiritual lesson coming in around romance, fertility, because there is a bit of boredom. And I'm going to close with a rose. But emotional withdrawment means, again, it's time alone. There's nothing wrong with being on your own. We want to be at our best, really triumphant, if we're going to share. Energy is so important right now. Our own source energy, and who we mix it with is something else that I wanted to highlight on. People just meet up with other people, and I'm not being judgmental or anything, but like, they don't understand that the energies mix, they rub off, it spills over, and we have to be very, especially in these times when we're being distracted. And don't get me wrong, things will come along to try and distract you off your path, off your self-healing. We fill our own cup first, then we have enough to fill other people's. Queen of Swords, she's the Queen of Discernment. So we have the Anointed. Answer the call, leadership, empowerment, and soul gifts. So there's definitely a calling, and I got that somewhere else along the line. Answer the call, but use your gifts, because we've been given these. They're not powers, they are just old gifts that have been distilled out of us, and it's time to bring them back online. Temple of the Rose, ancient power, expression, activation, and scarlet codes. That's very much this. This could be what's going to be going on during this next full moon, and it's in Aries. I'm sure it's in Aries, so it's going to be... Is it in Aries? But anyway, around the next full moon, scarlet codes, that's what the colour these are. And again, it's reflecting back. It's not reflecting back in the water as white like the moon. It's reflecting back as red. So it could be bringing a lot up to the surface. Shadow work, especially. That was fertility that just landed on my foot. And the Temple of the Rose, which is ancient power, expression, activation, and scarlet codes. Did I just read that? Or was it the Anointed? But again, scarlet. It is these old things that are coming back online, and they may break down our programmed religious factors. It's new enlightenment, that light above her head. So yeah, the Temple of the Rose, ancient power, expression, activation, and scarlet codes, and then the return. That's quite nice. A new story. You decide. You decide. You decide whether you, you know, are going to say yes to the King of Wands, the King of Swords, the King of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the mental conflict, the emotion. You know, you decide. It's up to you. Did I just pick the Queen of Swords up again? Yeah, I did. The return, a new story, you decide, alignment, it's all coming together. But I do feel that there is a massive thing about patience here as well. Slow and steady wins the race. So I hope that makes sense. Please leave me some comments, feedback. It's been nice being face to face and actually like being able to see comments, because I don't normally do it this way. But happy 11/11, and I love you lots.